Hey cuties, it's your girl Tana Too Cute. Did y'all watch Married to Medicine Reunion Season 10 Part 1? Let's talk about real quick here the scene with Quad and Dr. Simone. Let's talk about it.
I feel good.
Wait a minute. Who
I knew that I would know. Wow.
So the conversation started out with they were discussing Dr. Jackie, that whole situation when she came under fire with her whole comment about the black women and pregnancy, and how that when she was speaking with the Vice President Kamala Harris. And then it kind of transitioned over to that Dr. Jackie highlighted everyone that reached out to her during that time, because it was a really difficult time for Dr. Jackie. Everybody called, everybody was over. Dr. Simone was over there every day. Dr. Heavenly was over there and calling every day. Toya reached out to her. Everyone except for Quad. And she, was thinking that when that clip resurfaced about, Dr. Jackie and this whole situation, she was thinking that Quad had something to do with that. So Dr. Heavenly called Quad and asked her, did she have anything to do with that? And Quad was like, I would never do anything like that. Now, I wouldn't stoop that low, and she wanted to call Dr. Jackie. But Heavenly told her it's not a good time for her to call. And of course, naturally, these folks then kicked her out the friend circle. You're just not going to quickly just call someone, under the circumstances. I know if it was, maybe a death in the family or something like that, then yeah, you may reach out, put your differences aside at that point. But in this situation, Dr. Heavenly told Quad not to, it just wasn't a good time. So that's when the conversation transitioned over to Quad doesn't call the ladies. And Andy, he was asking, well, do y'all call her? And they don't. I mean, what do they expect? Do they want her to kiss their tail? I understand that if you are friends outside of this reality show, then yes, you want your friends to pour into you too, just as much as you are pouring into them. But don't expect one to do more than the other. And it just seems as though they are expecting a little bit more from Quad that they are willing to give. It's just coming across to me as though they want her to kiss their tail. I get their point in her, them wanting her to humble herself, but it's a way to do everything. And the way it's coming across is just not fair across the board. So then it gets even deeper, y'all. Dr. Simone, she cannot have a conversation without really yelling to get her point across. I guess she think if she's hollering or yelling, that makes her point even more valid. So she got to a point where she wanted to make a point, rather, that Quad doesn't reach out to her, but she does. Even outside of the cameras, outside of the show, she will reach out no matter what the situation is. Kudos for Dr. Simone. Pat her on the back. But she wanted to make the point that she even reached out to Quad when Quad had the tragedy of losing her niece. So when Dr. Simone was saying when she had a tragedy at her home and Quad was calling her name out like Simone, as, giving her signals that don't bring this conversation up at this reunion. This is outside the show. This is something I don't want to, bring to the show. She said Simone went into detail. There was a tragedy at her home where her niece was found unalived in her pool. I thought that was so insensitive of Dr. Simone. I don't know if it was a setup to bring it to the reunion. It's hard to believe what's real and what's fake. But those tears that Quad shed was real. It looked real. And I thought that was so insensitive of Dr. Simone. But it doesn't seem as though she's faded, bothered by her comment, because she's on Twitter, saying keep it cute or you'll get blocked. Who's she talking about? Y'all gotta excuse my voice. I was a little hoarse. But yeah, she's on Twitter, talking about keep it cute, baby, or you get blocked. Is she talking about Quad, or is she talking about the fans? But I thought that scene really stood out to me, to the point where I started crying. It don't take much for me, though. Stuff like that, I just don't play with, things like that. And if these ladies don't know, some of these scenes, some of the stuff that they share with us, it does touch us. That scene, my face got real, real ugly, y'all. But I want to know what y'all think about that scene. Tell me, was it really insensitive of Dr. Simone to share that on this reunion show? Drop down in the comments and let me know. Y'all hit the like button, hit subscribe, and look, y'all have a good day on purpose. Bye.